Oh, man. It's like waiting for Christmas, but like it's really not Christmas. But gifts do come. Some people got gifts tonight. Some people, okay? Some people they wish that Christmas was like canceled. They almost really wanted it to be like Santa Claus doesn't exist. Tonight on the Losey Podcast, we might roast. Got I have to talk out loud about one of my buddies. He's extremely sad, and you guys might hear me talk about him a lot, okay? Because he does a lot of talking on the Los Angeles Rams. That's what we're talking about tonight, starting tonight. Starting. That's how we're going to start because their career ended, okay? Tonight it ended. And it's not until next season, and everybody thought the Los Angeles Rams, they can do it. They have the Pukas, the Kyron Williams, the Matt Stafford, the greatest. So a lot of people were talking about him, saying that if he wins tonight, after he does everything and he continues to push forward, he will continue and he will make the argument that he is in the Brady, in the Rodgers, in the top of the top quarterbacks, and he cannot be stopped until tonight. He was stopped, couldn't do it. Sam Darnold gave a little spanky, okay? And they got humbled. And my buddy earlier asked me, earlier this week, he said, what is it about the Rams that everybody hates? Or that it's just like that thing. And it's just like, we talk about it and it's just Los Angeles. Maybe it's a celebrity team. Maybe they get treated a little too unfairly compared to other teams. And I agree with that. And I'm always going to stand by that. And the Los Angeles Rams have gotten a lot of players in the past couple years, and you can make arguments that they have done a lot of good things, and they have. But tonight, they got beat by the Seattle Seahawks, and it was a good game. It was a good game. The last pod, I said they were going to get smacked and mopped, and it was going to be embarrassing. There wasn't, but you know what? Devontae didn't show up. Maybe he didn't get enough touches on that one. I think they pushed too much for Puka. There's a couple, things. Kyron Williams was really good. Um, but Smith Jigba is just nasty, man. He's just nasty. Probably the best wide receiver. You can't argue that. You really could. Um, it was a really good game. Really good game. Sam Darnold, he balled out. But to the Rams, it didn't rain. It didn't snow. There was no sprinkles. Okay? It's a fair and square. It was a fair and square game. Now it's the Seattle Seahawks that are going against the Patriots. So that loss was almost, or the Rams' loss was almost as bad, as sad as the Denver Broncos. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. The Denver Broncos. You know what's crazy is you're probably hearing all the Denver Bronco fans right now saying, "Oh, we're just too young of a team. It was too young. We didn't have Bo Nix like it mattered." If we're being honest, I'm a fan of Nix. He can run the ball. He's a great quarterback, but he's not that guy, and you know he's not that guy. The AFC is ass cheeks, and you know that. But no one wants to admit that. Of course, they say, "Oh, this guy's a Packers fan. He's going to say anything he wants." That's true too. But the Denver Broncos had a pretty easy path. The majority of their games, it's like this: field goal here, field goal there. They came back. They did some crazy fourth quarter stuff this year, I will admit. But the Patriots did not Patriot today. Okay. tonight or earlier today, they didn't play the way they played all season. So you would think, take the field goal right there. Take the 3 points. Don't go for it on 4th and wood. Stidham is scared, but maybe they actually got a little bit of confidence because of that touchdown pass that he caught, and he got it, and they thought, we got it. He's feeling it. He's feeling a little bit of that Bo Nix. And so they go for it, and it fails. And I told my father-in-law tonight, we were watching it, I told him, I said, that is going to haunt them. And that is how the Broncos are going to lose, by another 3-point game. And guess what happened? Guess what happened? It was a sad loss. It was a very sad loss. Shout out to Spindrift, okay, for sponsoring this. I'm kidding. They did not sponsor shit. But this is actually the best sparkling drink on the market. Don't ever listen to anybody else that tells you otherwise. Whether it's Waterloo, oh man, they're not hitting me right now. What's that one? Let me see. We're going off topic. We're going off topic here. Hold on. I feel like I've had like 30 of them, and they're not hitting me right now. Oh, LaCroix. LaCroix, I started with LaCroix. That's old news. Bubbly was pretty good. Waterloo's caca. Do not drink Waterloo. Liquid Death is fire, but that's more of a drink of like a water. But this actually has like the actual juice inside of it with a good combination of sparkling water, and it's perfect. And it actually has the juice. So yes, if you're going to stop drinking pop at only sparkling water, only drink Spindrift, okay? Now, back to the game. The Broncos lost by 3 points. It's sad. Shannon Sharp said he'd love to be the poorest billionaire. In other words, what Shannon meant to say is they were ass cheeks. That is it. That's what he meant to say all season long. They held on by a tiny little thread. And that is what happens. That is what happens. And they got humbled by a mid Patriots. And now we have to watch the Patriots go play the Seahawks, and they're going to get smacked by the Seahawks. I'd have rather saw Broncos, Rams, but neither team could do it. There was no hope for either of those teams. So there it is. You have it. Broncos are done. All my friends are hating me right now. They're probably just irritated. Every single one of my friends right now probably wants to smack me in the face. Smack me, calls me grimy, a traitor. How could you say that? How could you root for another team? It is what it is. But come join me on the couch of maybe next year. Come join me on the couch of maybe in 10 years. Maybe. It's an amazing drink. That's it. But in other news, there's this kid. His name is Blades Brown. 18 years old. He just decided that he does not want to go to college. And I decided that too, except I didn't end up in the same spot that he ended up, okay? He was 18. He decided not to go to college. And he was the youngest golfer to win a tournament or to score the some crazy stat. Anyways, that doesn't matter. But what matters is he went toe-to-toe today, all weekend, with Scottie Scheffler, the best player in the world. Best golf player in the world. Well, technically, Rory is. Remember, this is a Rory podcast. But really, the actual fact is Scottie Scheffler. Watched it all day yesterday. It was amazing. My kids hated every second of it, but I loved it, and they're gonna learn to enjoy it. Going toe to toe, and everyone's talking about him. He's 18 years old, just playing spectacular golf. Just birdie after birdie after birdie after eagle after birdie after birdie. It doesn't stop. Then all of a sudden, Siwoo Kim is climbing, and I love Siwoo Kim, big fan. Now entering for Sunday, the last final group, you have Scottie Scheffler, Siwoo Kim, Blades Brown. He kills it. They're going. I ended up changing that because I go and watch the Broncos, and I start watching a little bit, kind of back and forth on my phone, on the TV, and Scottie Scheffler. I don't even understand it. I don't understand his swing. I don't understand his motto in life, his attitude, his drive. He has the craziest swing known to man. If you watched his swing, you wouldn't even think that he's literally like a really good golfer, but it's incredible. Just birdies. I think he finished 27 under. Just crazy stuff from Scottie Scheffler, and he becomes the third person to win $100 million on the PGA Tour. $100 million, and he said no to live golf. Take that. No to live golf. $100 million. Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, the only three people to do that on the PGA Tour. Amazing stuff. But yeah, Jason Day was there. I absolutely love when Jason Day's up there on the leaderboard. He's been doing tremendous stuff. I feel like he's always right there, just right there. Siwoo Kim ended up at 22 under, but Scottie Scheffler just washed him, mopped him. It was like a plop city. It was literally what happened to the Broncos and the Rams. So yeah, man, it's gonna be an incredible year of golf. And Scottie, 29 years old. He's not even 30. Has I think 20 PGA Tour wins. 20. He's not even 30. Are you nuts? It's crazy, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But outside of that type of golf, right now everyone is talking about Rory McIlroy in the same sentence as Patrick Reed. And that is just cringy. It's terrible. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear those two names in the same sentence. Doesn't sound good. It's terrible. And Rory is on the downside of it because Patrick Reed won his first title at the Dubai tournament. And, you know, he played great golf, but he's a cheat. I don't know if he cheated this weekend, but he is a cheat. I just don't know if he cheated this past weekend, but yeah. He did mop Rory. It's not a head-to-head type of thing, but he did, you know, beat him there. But anyways, that is what it is. You don't want to hear those two names. I hate it, but that did happen. And you know, Rory finished. He didn't do his best. You know, he's in the phase of transitioning from blades to cavity backs. And, you know, I'm going to blame it on that. I'm going to blame it on that. Maybe he goes back to blades and he plays a little bit of golf. I don't know. But that's all everybody's talking about right now, at least. Okay? Other than Scottie Scheffler. Other than Scottie Scheffler, you're hearing all the titles say Patrick Reed mops Rory. He smacks him. No chance that Rory could do it. Rory this, he couldn't do that. It's just a long list of stuff that Rory supposedly couldn't do. But that's not true. That's not true. He just had a bad weekend. You'll see him in a couple weeks. But it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Okay? And remember, Patrick Reed might still come back to tour, and it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful, but it's going to be okay. We're going to be good. We're going to get there. We're going to get through it together. And that is the news on golf. We're going to get a lot more. You know what I did? If you don't watch tennis, you got to start watching tennis because Naomi Osaka is an incredible tennis player. And I only hope that my kids one day would love to play tennis, professional tennis. And right now it's the Australian Open. And the world's in shambles because Naomi Osaka, if you don't know who she is, go back to your corner, figure it out. Go Google her, get some knowledge. I don't know that much about tennis, but I'm still learning and I'm keeping up to date, especially with women's sports, especially. She's about to win. I think it was the first or second round. She's about to win, and she goes against Naomi Osaka. She goes up. Let me see here. I forget her name again. I'm still learning. We're gonna learn together. We're gonna learn together. Um, she goes against Romania's Sorana Cirstea. And Sorana's about to hit off, about to take her turn. And Naomi screams in frustration and she says, "Come on." But she's facing down. She's like frustrated right before her serve, right before she's about to serve. And she snaps. Sorana snaps and she tells the rest like, "Hey, what's going on? Right? Can you do that? Can you do that?" And she's like, "Yeah, you didn't touch the ball. So then just do it." So she does it and she ends up losing. And then right at the very end, they go shake hands and tries to dap it up and it didn't work. It did not work. And she got really, really pissy with Naomi and Naomi rolled her eyes and was like, "What the hell is that?" She did an interview. She didn't really say anything crazy, but she did was like, I really don't know why this is bothering her type of thing, right? Like brushed it off. And everybody is going in on her, and I feel bad because she's dealt with mental health issues before. She's taken time off before in the past a couple years ago. A lot of people gave her stuff a couple years ago because of she took some time off for her baby. She was with Cordae. If you're not familiar with Cordae, he is an incredible rapper, incredible artist, and they ended up splitting, and I believe they had the baby, and they weren't on good terms. And she took some time off for mental health, and everybody just went in on her, kind of like that what was her name? What was her name? That gymnast that took some time off. I forgot her name, but she took some time off and everybody went in on her. She was just dealing with a lot of stuff as a woman, as a mother, as a girlfriend, as a wife, just probably going through like a moment and everybody went in on her. And ever since then, I feel like a lot of people really like dislike her or they go in on her. Or it's just like an easy target to just bash. And I feel like this is one of those moments they're just going in on her and I kind of feel bad. But what happens later is like the next day, I believe, or 2 days, she withdraws from it. Um, from the third round, I believe, of the Australian Open, and I just thought to myself, man, they're gonna have a field day with this one and go in on her again. And is she having mental health? A lot of people throw that around like it's not a problem, but it is, And if she has to take care of herself, it is what it is. But it wasn't. It was because of an injury, I believe. But shout out to Naomi. I don't know the rules on that. If you're allowed to scream, come on or whatever you can in between serves. I think you can't, just like in golf, just like in any other sport. But it is what it is. Hopefully she continues and goes from there. But the internet is mean. The internet is extremely mean. And I don't agree with a lot of the things that the internet says, just a bunch of Twitter fingers and just bashing. I've done it myself. Doesn't work. Don't do it. But she could be going through something because Cordae I follow him on Twitter and he's been tweeting a lot of ratchet stuff. I don't know if it's about her, and if it is about her, he needs to stop. That's the mother of his child. And he keeps tweeting and retweeting stuff about hoes and a hoe this, and if a hoe does that, and if she does this, she's a hoe, and hoes do this and that, and a bunch of crazy stuff. And it's kind of scary because I don't know if he's talking about Naomi or another person. I have no idea. But Corday seems very heartbroken on Twitter, at least. I have no idea. Hopefully that has nothing to do with it. So just leave that alone. I have no idea. Now, what is that movie? Bugonia or Bugonia. I have no idea how to pronounce it, but I think it's Begonia. Been waiting to watch it. My buddy sent me the trailer a few months back because we're big Emma Stone fans and we are extremely and see here in this building in these corners, we are big big Jesse Plemons fans. Jesse Plemons can do no wrong. And we're going to talk a lot about this guy. Series, movies, demonic, happy. You might have seen him on Like Mike. That's probably the last movie you've ever watched of Jesse Plemons. You didn't even know his name back when he was on Jesse Plemons. Or on, back on Like Mike. You didn't even know his name. Okay? You didn't know his name. Well, he's on this movie called Begonia. I just watched it. And I told my wife, today's movie night, get ready, watch this. She fell asleep. Because when I say that and when I prep, she already knows I'm watching something demonic, something mental, something against all religion, something crazy. So, Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Begonia. Incredible movie. Emma Stone plays this rich lady. Rich, like a Elon Musk. I hate to use him as an example right now. I'm not his biggest fan, but an Elon Musk, right? He's creating these things. Rich, filthy rich. Jesse Plemons is some kid that lives with his cousin, and they're plotting something against this rich woman. Okay? He has this theory of her, and the cousin's just following along. The cousin is just following. I think his name's Don. He's just following along with it, and um, I think the cousin might be a little slow, a little, and maybe Jesse is just kind of watching after him and maybe taking advantage of him a little bit, right? Convincing him like, yo, this is really happening. So they end up um trying to find this plot and kidnap her or at least go grab her and try to figure out what she is, if she really is what they believe, and then stop what she's doing and go from there. This is not a spoiler podcast, so I'm going to stop there, but it's an incredible watch. Absolutely loved it. For a second, it's kind of a slow burn, and you just think, man, what's going to happen? And then, boom, it happens. And I woke my kid up and I woke my wife up and they're like, what the hell happened? I'm like, she was crazy. It was so crazy that I had to kind of look over and make sure my kid wasn't watching or she didn't watch that and put the iPad right in front of her face. Crazy. Then the movie continues and continues and continues and then boom, it happens again. There's like 3 booms in the movie and it was nuts. It was crazy. Go watch it. I believe it's getting nominated for a couple of Oscars. Best film, best something. I have no idea. I mean, if I were to rank Jesse Plemons on anything, he could win all of them. Watched a couple of movies of his last year, and we're going to talk about them. But this was an incredible movie. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it if you like psychotic movies. If you like a movie where it's just like, what the fuck was that? Sorry for saying that. It is a kid show. Then you're gonna like that. Because it you don't even expect what happens at the end. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. That was my watch for the week. I loved it. Next week, like 2 weeks, got the Super Bowl. So good times. See what we watch next week. So see you guys in a little bit. Peace.